In recent videos, I shared the making of two very different styles of slashed covers. One was a slashed denim cover and the other was a vintage looking slashed fabric cover using handmade waxed paper. I did also share the waxed paper process in that video. I had also pre-made some decorated papers for the signatures, but didn't feel they were quite right for either of the two covers. I asked you for your thoughts, so I would like to share some of them here while I'm choosing some papers for the signatures of the fabric slashed cover. Use 3 of your already prepared watercolor papers along with other papers to make 3 signatures. Rough up the edges of the watercolor papers with the edge of a pair of scissors. If the bright white of the watercolor paper is bothering you, dye them with tea or coffee. I actually love the numbered papers in this neutral book. They share the vintage look color-wise, and the more structured pages are a great contrast to the softer cover. To marry the two further, I would add some lace, tabs, or embellishments to the pages in creams and whites. I would also rough up the edges of the watercolor paper with a knife to soften a little. This one really made me laugh. The cover made me think of baklava. I totally get that. Maybe for the pages, it needs more pattern paper pages. The colors will work and the textures will feel lovely. Those gorgeous papers do not go into that paper cover. Both are beautiful, but no stiff papers should be in that delicate yet sturdy layered cover. Raggedy, distressed, torn, neutral, and browns, a little lace. Get your inspiration from your snippet roll. Softer pages would be great in this waxed cover. Sewing pattern papers sewn together with lots of lines of sewing or random stitching. What if you waxed different thin papers or a lace that has a tight pattern, not too many holes? Can you attach several tea bags to make a large paper and then tear them down to the correct page size? Might be cool and would tie your snippet roll in. This is something I'm definitely going to do, although I did forget to do it in this video. So I will do that after the fact and then show you later on. I'm so sorry about that. I think perhaps you need some softened, colored, /printed, /stamped vellum pages. I get a beautiful translucent vintage green color vellum from Witchcraft Do You Do in Australia, and a page made from a few sewn layers of sewing paper /tissue paper, perhaps with an inner layer of copy paper to give it some strength. Use waxed and momigami treated pages and even a lace bordered /lace sheer fabric page. Aiming for translucency, subtle vintage colors, gold and pearl shimmer effects, and softness /pliable pages throughout to fix with the beautiful cover. I did not know about this momigami technique. I did check out a video now. It seems to be a very easy technique. So if you want, search for momigami papers. You will find some tutorials. Maybe that's something I will try in another video. I will not be doing it in this video, but love the idea of all of that. Wax the pages for the wax cover. Sew around the sewing tissue first and then wax it. And sew ephemera and such before sewing in the signatures. Keep it all in the wax theme. That is a great idea. The challenge of the wax paper is that nothing sticks to it. So if I want to add ephemera to it later, it's really hard to attach that ephemera or clusters, collages, anything to that wax paper. So that's why I'm very reluctant to do that. I agree the papers look contemporary while the beige and cream color cover is vintage. Both covers need altogether different pages, a vintage look of some kind. 2 papers stitched together to make 1 page, or packaging paper, all torn to the size you want them. Thank you so much for all of your amazing ideas. This is why I love our community so much, because we help each other out. If one of us gets stuck, the others will jump in and help out. I see that in the comments all the time. Someone has a question and someone else gives an answer, and this is just awesome. Please keep doing what you're doing. You rock, seriously. So most of you agreed that these papers are not perfect for this cover. They are just too stiff for me. I really think this cover needs delicate materials, soft materials. Some of you did say that these would fit better in this jeans journal. Again, I'm not sure yet. I don't know. We'll put this aside for now. So now I have picked out all of these materials, which is of course way too much. So we have all the papers, we have the fabrics and the cheesecloth and some netting, and we have our laces. All of these I think would work with this cover, but I can only fit a very small portion of them in here. So now I need to decide what to actually put in here, and I also need to think about on which of these elements can I then maybe add a few focal points, because if I just put these papers in here without focal points, it's kind of like just a book of samples of different materials in my eyes. I always need focal points. I need to make a smaller selection of what I want to use, because there's not that many pages that I can actually put in here. I should have made a bigger spine. I mean, the spine width is totally not defined yet, and I can of course make it wider. But then of course the book gets narrower. So realistically, I think it's going to be like this, which is approximately like 1 centimeter. So let's make a shorter list of this short list. This is so difficult because I love everything here. They're all in beautiful neutral tones. So of course we want a variety of everything. I think I'm going to start with the lace, because there definitely needs to be a few pieces of lace in here for sure. It's just so hard to pick. Let's move this out of the way because this is distracting. And then of course there is this rust dyed fabric. I've dyed this a few years ago. Sorry for those glaring lights, they're gone now. I unfortunately did not make a video when I dyed these because I did not think it would work out. You should always have your camera on, I know. But as far as I remember, this was just a white cotton tablecloth. I cut these strips and then I rolled some rusty objects inside, mostly nails, also some clothespins, screws, washers, anything I had, and I just placed them on top and then rolled it up. And then I put it on a rusty pan and I kept spraying it with a mixture of apple vinegar, because that's the vinegar I had at home, mixed with water. I do not remember the ratio. And I just kept spritzing them over, I think, a day approximately, and then I just let them dry. And then when I unrolled them, this is what I had. So I love this so much. I don't know if I can ever do this again. But I've been hoarding it because I always think it's too pretty to use. But we shouldn't do that, should we? We should let these pieces fulfill their destiny. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. So I think I should have a piece in here. What do you think? Yes, let's do that. The height is actually pretty perfect. So let's cut a piece here. Okay, this top part definitely needs more fraying. We have our first piece, yay! Of course, I want some of these pages also to have things peeking out, so I can of course add bits and pieces afterwards to make it look more raggedy. I definitely need a piece of this gorgeous antique linen. I love this one to bits. And I'm going to keep this in its complete height as well. So we'll have some of this peeking out on the bottom. Yay. Love that. And I'll try to tear this. I don't want this the full width. I think through tearing it, anyway, we'll get something random. This tears beautifully because it's so old. I don't want this straight line. Ah, this is a dream to tear. Wow. Okay, I'm good with that. I would love some of this, but I'm almost thinking it's too thick. I mean, I love how delicate and see-through it is. I'll keep that in mind. This one is a dream as well. So cute. Yeah, I definitely need some of this in here. This is getting thick pretty quickly. I just love these though so much. Look at this one. Oh my goodness, I have to have this. And it's so soft. I wish you could feel this. Wow. Can we tear it? Oh, we can. Oh, I am so in love with all of these pieces. I think that's it from these because I don't think I can do more. I have so many more beautiful ones. We'll keep them on the side. Maybe we can use them as, you know, to add as some clusters or something. Okay, these we'll keep for like adding things on top. So let's check some of these fabric pieces. Love this very sheer one here. Yeah, that's a winner. It is so delicate. This one will be great for making like tabs or clusters. This one is again a beautiful sheer one. Love, love, love. Oh, here's another rust-dyed one, but completely different colors. This one I have put in a pot with boiling plants and rust. Completely different, right, than the other one. Amazing. Also love this. So let's just see, what else do I want to use as pages? These here are, you know, they're a beautiful page, but if I do this, I need to sew them together back to back, which is totally doable. For example, if we want to make a little bit of a variation, instead of putting two of the same ones together, we could just sew these two together, for example. Do we want the Tim Holtz there? I don't know. So that's a really nice option. Or do we want to add, no, I don't actually want to add any color to it. This is too loud. These would be really nice. Like for a smaller page, we could sew these back to back, just a little strip. These are now too loud for me. And here we have more of these butterflies. So these are Tim Holtz and they're called Butterflies and Moths. Look, this is, I believe, the same fabric, but this is much lighter than this one. I don't know why. I guess maybe they're not always printed the same. Very interesting, because neither of these have been washed or dyed or anything. Because they do kind of look different just from the coloring. I will just cut this one down to fit this size and then sew them together and sew these together. So that's our fabric. And then I would also love to fit at least a couple of papers. This tissue paper is really nice and delicate, so I do want to add some of this. I want to stick to very, very delicate sheets. I was considering some acetate, but now I'm not sure about that. These are all vellum. These, of course, are gorgeous. I think we definitely need something like this in there. And then this is too stiff. This is fun. Looks kind of wintry though. I would love one more of these delicate papers. This one is so gorgeous as well. You see that beautiful rose pattern? Wow. Don't know. These are kind of stiff. This one here is amazing. This one feels like fabric almost, although it's paper. Yeah, maybe we'll use this one. This one is kind of stiff. I don't want to include the red now, so I won't use this vellum. I got these out of a book that I found at my Goodwill a few years ago. It was a book about advertising, and they just had these papers in between the chapters, and these were the only papers that I kept. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? Look, this one has birds on it. They're just so cute. I also like that we have some color variation between these two. And we have this one. And then there's one more thing I totally forgot. This was actually not what I meant now, but of course, if you have some tissue paper, this would be amazing. Oh my goodness, maybe I need a piece of this. This is the last piece I have. I mean, this would be amazing. Interesting that this is split in two. Okay, I'll keep this in mind. This is just too beautiful not to consider. Then I also found this beautiful brown tissue paper. But what I forgot, of course, was some sewing pattern paper. This is the super, super soft kind. I have never seen this kind here in Austria. The one we have here is a little more stiff. So this one feels amazing. This was gifted to me from the US, and I think this is the last of it, and it needs a special project, so maybe this would be it. So again, I do think we have too much still. Oh my goodness, we definitely have too much. How do you choose? We need a bigger journal. Oh my goodness. This is not going to work out. It's so small. This is so difficult. I think I'll have to go back and again take some out. Oh no. I have to have the butterflies in here. There's no question about that. But I also love this. Baby steps. Otherwise, I'm going to freak out. So let's find a piece. Let's do it here and cut this one, tear it to the same size. It will all be okay, Barbara. Don't panic. These will be sewn together. And for this sewing pattern, I also want to sew a few layers together just because it's a different look. Do we want the blue showing on the outside, or do we want to have it like shimmering through like this? I think I'd rather have it shimmering through, otherwise this is too much for me. But I do want to take this part here. This is pretty hard to tear, so I think I'll have to cut this. So I have 3 layers. Let me cut this apart. sandwich the 18 in between my layers. I don't want them lining up on the edges. I want it to be raggedy, but these are too big. Yeah. So time for some sewing. We'll sew these together and we'll sew these. So for this one, I chose just a zigzag stitch going around once. I'm going to keep everything in white here. I'm not using any black thread in this. And I added some stitching to this one here. I first sewed around the rectangle, not going too far out to the edge because I might have to tear it down just a little bit. And then I wanted to do like some crazy stitching, and it turns out that this paper is so slippery that I couldn't actually turn it like I usually would. I don't have one of these free motion stitch things. It's not available for my sewing machine, unfortunately. So I had to always stitch and then lift it up and then turn it. So that's why I have all of these like weird edges, but it's okay. It's fine. For this one, I'm just going to include a single layer because it's also really nice to have just a very delicate layer in between. All the single layers, all the single layers. We need this, don't we? We absolutely need this. It's not enough. Well, we could have this be the center page. This is also impossible to tear, so I know I have to cut this. Yeah, we could consider this as a center page. I think I'm only making one signature. I don't know yet, maybe not. I really don't know. Do we leave this sticking out? Yeah, let's leave it. Who am I? So 1, 2, 3, 4 pages so far. If we fold these, let's see how thick they become. I am worried. Obviously, this is not going to be the order they will actually be in. Okay, we are okay. So we haven't added any of this yet. This is going to be a disaster. Not sure about this one just because of the blue. I don't have any. Well, I do have blue here. Let's just keep that on the side. This one is a definite must. As is this one. And this one. I need more paper in between. This is too much fabric. So we still have these. I love the sound of this one. We definitely need this in here. And I also want this. This is so amazing. So let's think about the placement. This would be kind of a nice one to start off with, maybe. Then I don't want fabric on fabric, so let's put maybe this one in between. We could also put this lace in between here. This one here, I might still change everything around. I just want to get a feeling for how thick this is going to be. And then let's put this one in between. Okay. Obviously, I have not put these together properly. But let's, ooh, this is fine. Oh yeah. We can even add this one here. Can we tear it? Oh, we can. That's even better. Not happy with this beginning. We will figure that out once we know what we're actually going to use. I'll just put this in here for now. Now we have this. We can definitely add that. I don't want fabric on fabric. How about in between these two? Or these two maybe. Let's do these two. Oh my goodness, this feels so beautiful. It feels beautiful. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean. It feels amazing. So this doesn't actually feel thick enough yet. I don't think I'll be adding a lot of ephemera per se, but definitely some decorations. So I think I can go ahead and add some more pieces. So I did sew these back to back. And then I have this beautiful lace and this gorgeousness here. This is very, very special. So let's find a place for these. And I'm still not sure, do I leave it in one signature or is it better to split it up? I really don't know. Let's put this one here. This gorgeousness needs to go. I mean, it's lace after lace, but these two lace pieces are so different from each other that in this case, I don't mind. Oof, this is just incredible. What I do not like is that these two here have the same width. But that's also because I didn't put this in the middle. We could just put this one in between. Maybe I should not have this because look how gorgeous this is. Maybe this should not be here at all. Let's hide this a little bit more towards the middle. Maybe here. I mean, we're not hiding it, obviously. You know what I mean. Words today are difficult. This is just incredible. I know I'm repeating myself, but wow. Love how everything is peeking out here. So after Louisa watched the making of this cover, she left me some voice messages on Instagram and she said what she would have done is to make another piece with the same method, but have the strips go horizontally rather than vertically, and then just take a piece of that and put it around the cover, which is a great idea. I'm not going to do that. Because I'm not doing this again right now. But that gave me the idea that the cover does need something else, even though I love all these layers. But now I feel like I want to have something around here. So I chose some of my lace and see if something from here would work. One option would be this gorgeous piece here. Yeah, actually, I'm not sure. Then we have this beautiful one with the pearls. Now, I don't think I would add this alone, but maybe this on top of another one. Because of, the pearls are amazing. Wowza. Okay, if we do this, what do we put underneath? First of all, what color? It could be the stark white or it could be off-white beige. Let's try this white one. This is the best part of making a journal, I think, you know, where you just play around with various options. Oh, wow. It might still need another layer underneath, but I am loving this. Yep, I love that. There's this delicate one. That one might work. No, I don't think that's quite wide enough. This is too rough. I have the feeling it's not delicate enough. This one or this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try this one first. I'm not sure it's long enough actually. Oh, it is. Okay. I'm not sure about the combination of this and this color. I mean, they do go together. We have a variation here as well, so it would theoretically match, but somehow it's not working for me. Maybe also it's the shape. No, it's not the perfect solution. But I also want to try this one here. This has a bit of a different color and it is more delicate. I'm also worried that these beads are going to come off. I somehow need to secure this end here to make sure that they won't unravel. No. What about without this? Nope. Maybe without the pearls. But then I think this one also is not the right one. We could go on for hours, right? I'm sure you know this feeling. Let's try this one. I'm already looking forward to reorganizing all of these laces. Oh, I think I like this. So I zoomed you in a little bit because I would like to add a button. I already have a short list, but this is going to be super difficult because I think all of these will be beautiful. And these are all from dear Louisa. Maybe you can tell me your favorite one. I will number these. So let me know which one is your choice, because I at this point have no idea how to choose this. One has a little bit of a gold rim there. I'll put them up here. 2. 3. This is a cute oval shape. It is quite bulky though. So that's 3. And we have this very plain one here. 4. Okay, I'll put this one a little bit up because I don't think I'll go for that one. 5. Maybe also not my favorite. 6. This one I like a lot. 7. We have a little bit of a different color here, but beautiful. Definitely smaller. So this was 7. I have another small one, 8. Another small one, 9. This is also quite bulky. And a gray one, just to see, just to see what that might look like. So that's number 10. Also actually quite a nice contrast, and it fits with these darker colors here. You can't really see it that well on camera, but this is almost a light gray, kind of like a lost shadow color. So it would work. This just kind of stands out more. Also an option. So that's number 10. Let me know in the comments below which one you would like me to choose. So I will add this here to the front. Maybe I'll let it peek out here a little bit, fray that a little bit more. And then we put the button here. I don't think I will make an actual closure, but we can still decide that later. So I will leave you with this for now. Let me know your choices. I am super curious. And I hope you will continue on this slashed paper journal together with me. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.